Hey gamers, got a vintage game for you today, Rumble in the Jungle. Let's check it out. Alright, so setup for this game is a beast, but it does come with instructions to tell you where everything goes, but it does take a while the first time. After that, it does get a little bit easier. You're going to play as one of these 4 little player pawns right here starting on the base camp here, and basically this is roll and move. You're just going to roll this die and move that many spaces. And you're going to be doing certain things, moving up, going back. Usually it's going to have you standing on some of these danger spaces here. There's a million ways to die here and go back to the base camp. Also, there are these yellow spaces here all across the board, and that says to crank 1, 2, 3 times the crank wheel. And this is talking about this crank wheel here. And when you crank it, there are these metal ball bearings that eventually, there's 2 of them, they're going to fall down here and set off a whole slew of traps. Some of the traps could be, you could have a man here on the seesaw. That thing's going to drop that monkey down and bust him up. Or this is going to roll over this giraffe's tail, causing the giraffe's head to fall down and knock a guy who's maybe on the giraffe area. Maybe this guy who's on a bridge, you know, if he's on that space, if the ball runs underneath him, it'll flip it over and flip him off. There's other places. There's a swinging monkey here who can knock people down. There's an elephant. There's a snake around the corner. Several different ways to get knocked over. In fact, if you're at the top of this little step here, that's another way that your guy can get knocked over too. So basically, let me just show you kind of how all the dangers would go. When that metal ball bearing, when someone twists it, it's going to go everywhere. Watch. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, look at that. Knocks everyone down. It goes back to the bottom where it can be scooped back up by one of these little things. Really awesome. So anytime your guy dies, like it did there, you take him back to base camp. Now, it's not that aggravating because eventually someone will get to the top, and once they get to the top right here, it's actually, and let me put someone else here so you can see them a little bit better. When someone gets to the top, and let's do another crank here, let's say that the next metal ball bearing fell through, it's going to block its path. Instead of setting off all those traps, it's going to open up this hut here, and a golden monkey is going to shoot right out. Watch. Hits him, moves around here, boom, and that golden monkey just pops right on out. And if you can get the golden monkey, you win the game. Final thoughts, what do I think about the game? Yeah, it's kind of a short review, but you know what? That's how simple it is. Now, roll and move, usually I go, anything that looks like mousetrap, I'm like, but this one is really fun. It's so much fun. I saw it on my buddy Luke's channel from Down from the Attic. You need to check that out. The game, the only negative thing about it is the setup time and the first time you set it up. And then after that, just trying to get all those pieces together. But after that, when you have it set up, it is a lot of fun. It takes you to those danger spots. It makes you move on them sometimes. So everyone's going to get knocked over at one point, but it's not too aggravating where the game doesn't overstay its welcome. Eventually, someone is very quickly going to get up there, avoid all the traps, and make it up there. And when they do and they get that golden monkey, it just shoots out of that hut and it's well worth it. Shockingly enough, this game is cheap to get, at least from this video. I see cheap copies walking around all the time. I was kind of surprised. I was like, if this game's worth a whole lot, I ain't getting it. And it turned out to be, you know, just the right price. But if you have kids that are younger, this is definitely worth it. In fact, I don't know, even a gaming group for fun, if it wasn't for the setup, I'd probably bring it out for them. But my nephews absolutely loved it. We played it a couple times. They kept laughing. They wanted to see the traps again. They love how the elephant, it goes down his trunk and out through his booty, and they thought that was really funny. But I just love the mechanics of it. That Ferris wheel just scooping them up and then later on dropping off. Really smart the way it was designed. So really good if you're into vintage games, you have kids, you're looking for a decent price family game, vintage family game, this is one you gotta get. All right, gamers, that's it for today. But until next time, you know what to do. Game on.